Chronometry calibrated. The gateway will open in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Analyzing data. Likelihood of parallel universes now at 45%. Continuing analysis of the many worlds hypothesis.
The most fun we've had this podcast was doing our Rob Reiner season. My first love is always going to be Star Trek, but franchise media only takes you so far before you have to wade knee-deep through the slot mines. We wanted to pick another director's filmography to go through, and man, pun intended, it's mostly dudes. Even today, when we have notable names like Greta Gerwig and Sofia Coppola, the gender ratio for Hollywood directors is like 20 men to 1 woman. And let me tell you, it ain't for lack of talent, okay? So we decided to cover the filmography of not just 1, but 2 women. You might know them as Lana and Lily. You definitely know them as the Wachowskis. Welcome, everyone. I'm Gayfish. Joining me, as always, is the lovely DemonMama.
Hello! I love lesbians!
And Moss.
I'm Moss, and I, too, love lesbians.
And Gayfish, lesbians are pretty chill.
Hell yeah!
And, except when they're, doing murder, theft, mafia stuff. That's less chill, but still pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah. Not chill. Definitively not chill, but...
We don't love them any less.
Yeah, no less love. Exactly.
Enough
Maybe
about gay
a little
rights.
more.
This movie's about gay wrongs. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Honestly, the signs were all there. Obviously, at this point, the Wachowskis weren't out.
Yes.
But, you watch this movie and you tell me this was made by a man. It's just...
Yeah, no, it's the most, how does anybody... I mean, the real answer is the reason why people do discourses on this stuff is obviously out of A, malice, but B, ignorance. Just not knowing about the films that came before and the work that came before. This is a pretty wild one, and I can't even imagine the nightmares that this movie must have given, the conservative movie reviewers of the time.
I mean, I don't think it got a wide release. I think it was in 300 theaters or something like that. It was a lower budget film. I think they shot it on $6 million,
which is insane given how it looks.
Joel Silver, who produced the Matrix movies, I think he had described Bound as the Wachowskis' audition for the Matrix to prove that they had the chops. But I think Lana said, I have no idea where Joel got that from. We made this movie because we fucking wanted to.
Yeah.
I guess from somebody who's in the industry, you would see a debut film as auditioning for a place in the directorial
That
library.
is certainly how Kevin Feige looks at indie film directors. Every time Marvel gets some up and coming director who did something that did well in the indie circuit, but also they're a fresh director, so they can pay them less.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah.
Opening shot of this movie, legendary ham-fisted opening, just panning across a tied up main character by the name of Corky with her Labris tattoo, just openly, just the whole center of the screen, just slowly panning across the tattoo. That's just a phenomenal opener. And I knew the moment that happened, I was like, I know I'm in for a treat. And holy moly, was this a treat.
There's so much of the DNA of the Matrix already in here, and a lot of that is, I'm pretty sure they used most of the same crew. Actually, they had a different DP hired for this movie initially, but he quit because he was like, the shots that you guys want me to pull off cannot be done on your budget. So they got Bill Pope, who got his start with Sam Raimi. And if you know anything about Sam Raimi, it's that you do not need money to make revolutionary cinematography.
Almost all of my notes, from this movie are about the cinematography.
Bill Pope has gone on to do a bunch of stuff. He did the Matrix movies. He did not Spider-Man 1, but he did Spider-Man 2 and 3. I'm pretty sure he's done several MCU movies. His work is everywhere. Dude really fucking nailed it, because this movie looks... It's crazy how good this movie looks.
I think he did Doctor Strange 2. I liked that movie a lot. If that's a Sam Raimi one.
That was a Sam Raimi one. It's possible he did it. Let me double check.
People talk shit on Sam Raimi too much, I think. But I haven't seen much of him aside from the handful of Spider-Mans. I feel like people, maybe it's just the Spider-Mans in particular, but I feel like I hear a lot of shit for for the old
Yeah, I mean,
Spider-Man.
people give a lot of shit for some of the Spider-Man, which is kind of absurd to me because I think they
They're
rocked.
really good. They're really good.
You know, it's rare that you're going to hear me say, like, I mean, literally, I quote a line from Spider-Man 1 on an almost daily basis. I'm like, you can't do this to me. That one, I am literally. Oh, and the other one I hit all the time. I'm something of an X myself. You know,
It's a
I
good
do that one
meme.
all the time. So.
Okay, Bill Pope was not DP on Doctor Strange 2, but he did Shang-Chi and Quantumania.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
One decent movie and one, dear God, what the fuck is this movie? But I don't think that's on him.
This movie is so gorgeous. And I just want to talk on the cinematography a little bit because it was breathtaking. The whole film it looks so good at every moment. Every shot has so much care put into the lighting. There's just a lusciousness to every single time the camera is on. It's amazing. And not to mention all of the special shots, of which there are many. It does not surprise me, by the way, that to learn that the DP for this film was Sam Raimi's collaborator, because there's this one shot that I noted in the movie where Violet picks up the phone and then it zaps down through the phone line, through the wall, following the electricity of her voice, and that is the most like
That is a
Evil
Raimi
Dead
shot.
like
That was
silly
100%
ass.
Matrix, though. Like, yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
just felt it.
Same, yeah.
Well, I was also noting, we're going to be referencing The Matrix, I'm sure, a bunch, because that's the movie everyone knows the Wachowskis for. But even just the way that this movie uses phone calls as a way of showing, like, intimate conversations where there's a barrier, because, like, you know, they're like, touching the walls, that really gets reused in The Matrix when, like, Cypher is talking to Trinity on the phone while he's, like, creeping over her jacked-in body. A lot of this, you know, intimacy using a format that is a very distant format of communication.
The like technological lines that facilitate modern connection and all of the dangers that are therein. The phone is such a central part of the tension in this movie multiple times. Like the scene where it's like, oh, is that Mickey on the phone? And then there's like the, oh shit, like, oh, pretend that I'm Gino. Like there's all of this use of the phone as like a perpetual source of tension throughout the film. Is very interesting. I really like that aspect of it. And you know, to just finish out my thoughts on the cinematography, there are a few other shots. Like of course there's some of these like more silly shots that are pretty good and funny. You know, you get some, like the shot of Caesar talking to the dead guy, and he's just like this super uncomfortably close, like flopping dead guy with blood, and he's like, who's dead now? Who's dead now? And like, so there's the silly ones, but there's also ones that are just like breathtakingly beautiful. There's a shot towards the end of the movie where Corky's ivory-handled pistol gets kicked through the white paint, and it's so carefully made.
You have to do that in one, too.
Yeah, you can't reset
Of
that
course,
easily.
yeah. It's not. That's hours of work to reset that, and like it just, you see the spin of the paint just coming off and splattering around it. It is amazing. And then right after that, you have the sort of climax of the film, or whatever you want to call it. I guess it's not the climax. I guess it would be the denouement, the resolution of, you know, Corky and Vi and Caesar resolving everything, and he's standing in this white paint, and the blood is dropping down into the white paint. Just
amazing shot.
Unbelievable.
God, it was so
just
good.
amazing. Just truly incredible. Like, I can't rant about it enough. It's so good. It's so good.
There's also just the use of light and shadow. Like, this is obviously, it's a noir film, and apparently one of the big inspirations that they have, because the Wachowskis are really big into comics, is a lot of the noir aesthetic was like directly lifted from Sin City. And say what you will about Frank Miller, 9/11 cooked that man's brain, and he was already kind of fashy before that. But at least he used to be a really fucking good artist. And like, if you've read Sin City, like his use of like stark blacks and whites just to really capture the noir aesthetic, it's pretty like unparalleled for its time. And imagine seeing a movie like this come out now. You'd be like, which lighting director did you resurrect?
Yeah.
Because they're all, nobody Nobody's doing that anymore.
You literally don't see it.
Yeah.
They don't do it. It is so, and it's one of the greatest cultural losses is the art of lighting. It's been sacrificed to eternal HDR, to eternal, well, we're going to color correct this. And so what you end up with is you end up with endlessly neutral lighting that is full coverage lighting so that they can add whatever effects they want in post. And while there are some situations where that can have great effect, it's a unbelievable crutch that leads to movies having a sameness and a lack of character. And when you go back and watch a movie like this, it's so immediately stunning. It just slaps you in the face with the artistry on display that's being chosen on how light is used. And it's not to sound over pretentious, but there's something truly ascendant in that. It's humans bending light to their will, bending light and color and making something wonderful to enjoy. Like, that's beautiful. I don't know. It's so sad that it's lost in so many ways.
Don Davis was the composer for this movie, and the opening scene, you hear the music and the little string motifs and everything. It literally just sounds like The Matrix, which I in high school when The Matrix came out, that was my shit. I would go in full Matrix cosplay to the sequel releases. I had I think probably one of my most listened to CDs was the soundtrack for The Matrix. Don Davis was one of my early, when I was really getting into music composition, it was him. It was just listening to all of the cool, different, really unique things that he did. And there's a lot of that in here. It just, the Matrix DNA is all over this movie. You really see where it all comes from. And not to say not to give Joel Silver credence here. I'm just saying it's the same crew that made both movies. So obviously it's all there.
I liked the gay sex.
Yeah. Oh my God. Is it good? It's good.
Yeah. Noteworthy, what Gayfesh mentioned to me a couple days ago about there being an intimacy coordinator on this film, way before that was a thing.
Yeah, it was Susie Bright, who was and I think still is, a fairly well-known sex educator, and the Wachowskis had actually sent her the script when they were still working on it, and she fell in love with it, but she was like, you haven't gone into a lot of detail on the sex scenes. Let me choreograph that for you.
Yeah.
And
That's amazing.
they put her as a cameo in the film too. She was the woman that Corky was hitting on at the lesbian bar.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
And apparently, all the other lesbians in the bar were just her real life friends. It was yeah, just come on over. We're just shooting a lesbian bar scene, so I know lesbians.
That's so cool.
That's so cool because that scene does feel so authentic.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. Yeah, it has a lot of authenticity. The chemistry, the sexual chemistry is unbelievable. It really is. I'm very happy that you brought it up because it really is something else.
They're good at building the tension, It's what are you doing? I'm trying to seduce you. Isn't that obvious? And it's I guess at the time you needed to be a little bit more cautious, but she's putting her hand on your boob.
I was like, okay, now you're just stereotyping. Okay, yeah, we get it. Women can't tell when other women are hitting on them. Jesus Christ. But no, I'm kidding. It was actually a great scene.
I would have guessed that Corky was a stone top, though. I was a little surprised.
I think it makes sense, I think sense.
Corky is about as butch as you can go before men start getting very afraid.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do still kind of see her as harmless.
I did really like the line, you planned this whole thing. If I say yes, will you take your hand away?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's such a good line.
Yeah, it really, there's such a need being expressed, and the performances are off the charts. Obviously the coordinator, the choreography was amazing, and the cinematography really bringing everything together is it's just incredible. I didn't know that was in movies. I didn't know that we could have that it's just this erotic thing happening, and then that's just their relationship then is just part of the plot, and the lesbianism isn't a huge deal through the rest of it. It's kind of, it takes a sidebar.
It's not a central plot point.
Yeah, and then you do get the slur at the end,
It's because movies now are sexless. We used to have sex in movies.
Movies are conservative backlash right now. Seriously, it's infecting the entire film industry, and it fucking sucks.
Yeah, and also, that's been a crawl that's been happening for some time as movies continually aim to be able to appeal to everyone at all times. to make the most money possible, and also to be the most easily adaptable to different markets that may have different censorship laws.
International markets, yeah.
If you do that, and I'm not saying that, like, obviously America is a fucking hive of conservatism, but if you make it your standard to be able to quickly meet the censorship requirements of every world government, you're going to find yourself just doing a hack job on art.
Yeah.
And limiting the imagination. And this film, I'm sure that there was a lot of controversy about it at the time, but it was in that period of post hyper censorship of all media and pre our current era of implicit censorship via every corporation being owned by some asshole fucking conservative.
Yeah, I mean, I think for one thing, it helps that it was a low budget film, so directors gets to be a little bit more experimental with stuff. But also, the Wachowskis were like, when they pitched the film, I think to Dina De Lorenzo, because he was the producer, they said, "This is our sex scene, and we're not taking it out of the movie. It's in here."
Good for them.
In contrast, the MCU has 35 movies and one sex scene.
They have a sex scene?
In Eternals. Nobody saw it, so you didn't know.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that. Not even in... in Deadpool...
Okay, in Deadpool and Wolverine... well, the first Deadpool is not an MCU movie. Yeah. And Deadpool and Wolverine, they don't have an explicit sex scene, but they do have Deadpool and Wolverine like stabbing each other repeatedly in a car, and the camera goes out and you just see the car rocking. So it is a bit of a sex scene, but it's still
it's heavily it's innuendo. Still it's not explicit.
It is two guys stabbing each other in the back of a car.
It's homoerotic. This movie got me thinking about Zap Brannigan. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, erotic.
There's this one shot where Corky is like laying back on the shitty mattress, and like her head is back, and you can just barely see like her left breast, and the like light from outside, this like yellow city light is like pouring. It's a painting. It's a goddamn painting. And I love it. I also really like that one of my roommates who I was watching this movie with was like, the performances are very like hammed up. And I'm like, yeah, it's a noir film. Yeah, it's noir.
It was
like,
good
and
about
I actually
that.
thought they did a great job. Yeah, I thought that's a good part of it. Like, but I can understand why some people might find it like a little bit, I mean, like Corky, that's like a character who's just laying it on thick all the time. She literally always has like a sexy smirk.
Was the one who was way over
Violet,
the top,
of course, yeah. Well, I mean, Violet's over the top in a different direction. But like every shot for the first half of the movie that you see of Corky, she has like this like almost like dashing rogue smile. And like it's just very
The only one I've seen do like a sly grin with an open mouth. Like that's that's her thing, the whole movie.
There's just so much attention paid to the eroticism and the sexiness and the beauty. Like, I mean, there's all these shots where like the contrast between Vi and Corky. There's one where the scene that ends with the like, oh, like, what are you trying? Like, what are you planning here or whatever? And that whole scene starts by like Vi being super, super dressed up in her like loungy but unbelievably fancy jewelry and everything, and Corky has like pants with paint like still all over it, and like there's like the scene where her hand is like covered in like oil or whatever. There's just so much attention paid to the detail in it. It's just like the contrast between their personalities and their aesthetic, and yet the same like the internal synchronicity that they have. I love it. I love how it weaves together.
I like how the camera treats hands. Like it's got a very sensual
Women
look
directors are so good with this.
Because for lesbians, the hand is a sex organ.
Yeah.
When Corky and Violet are talking to each other through the wall and they've got their hands up on the wall, fingers spread, and it's like center framed. It's just...
I like the representation for different kinds of lesbian, you know? Yeah. You got the high femme and then the stone butch. It's like, it is very like...
You have a couple of them. You got the cop.
It's very straight coded in a way where it's like, very butch and very femme, but we love to see the femmes represented.
Yeah, I think it's fairly good. I mean, I do think there's a butch and femme like dichotomy to a certain degree. But also, like, that's real. That exists.
Yeah, just different types of lesbians. It's good.
You got got your criminal lesbians, you got your cop lesbians, you got your bartender lesbians.
Yeah. You get to see her, yeah.
You got your mafia lesbians.
Yeah.
The mafia, I really like the way that they went with the mafia in this movie. All the mafia characters are also like really enjoyable, and oh my god, like
they're all
Caesar
such idiots
is such
too.
It's so funny. There's a line that I wrote down. Caesar's like losing his fucking mind. He's interrogating Corky, and he's like, "Your fucking kind can't be trusted, you fucking queers." And I was just like, that's so fucking funny, given that this is coming from the mafia guy whose entire life is like a lie of fucking each other over. A guy who just out of sheer panic blew away the people who were supposed to be like, he's literally sworn a blood oath. He's a made man. He made a blood oath to these guys, and he just fucking blows them away. And it's just like the duplicity. And then it's like, oh, well, you're fucking queer. You can't be trusted. Like, what the fuck? I love that line for that reason. It's like, it's so perfect. His total lack of awareness, a lack of self-awareness. Caesar is such a good villain. And oh my God, the performance of him just continually losing his mind and sweating and freaking the fuck out. Oh my, it is so good. It's so good.
He
looks so insane the entire
right?
movie.
Yeah.
He's so fucking good in this. Yeah.
He plays villains
so
very well. He's just a good job at playing bastards. He was, I think, the worst, and by worst I mean like most despicable, not like, oh, I don't like that character in The Sopranos. Like, and that's a show about the mob. That's a show full of bastards, and he was the worst one. He's really good at playing that. He's really good at playing hateable.
I think the plot too, like we haven't talked about the writing, like the tension in this movie, I think was maintained so well in that like everything goes wrong at just the wrong moment. Like you start to feel this like we're so close, like any minute now, and then like something unpredictable happens, right? Like Caesar, she's like, oh, you're gonna be able to get away free. Some of his actions have been predictable up to this point. Like, you know, Corky doesn't know this guy, but she's like, he's gonna want to unwind after all this work he's put in. He's gonna take a shower, and like adequately predicted some things, but then for him to spin out and start blaming Violet after, like, you know, oh, you know, Johnny's always flirting with you. You must be in with Johnny. Like it first of all, like that shows how fragile his world is, that it could just immediately all come crashing down, and he's like, oh God, like I have to run away or I'm gonna get murdered or whatever. But that just keeps happening.
Which is another shared
times.
line with The Sopranos.
Yeah.
The Sopranos being a show that's very much about like
They're both mob media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, like a world, like the fragility of the so-called hardened criminal, and like how it is a life that is truly on the edge, despite boasting, oh, I've got money, you know, look at what I made you, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's like high risk, high reward behavior, basically.
It's funny, while we were watching this movie, I couldn't help but thinking about the last movie that we watched, which was also ostensibly a heist movie.
Oh, yeah,
and this
I forgot
movie
about that.
is not a archetypical heist movie, but is nonetheless a heist movie. The core thing is a two-person heist.
When they're talking the original plan, they do it in the heist montage style, and then everything goes wrong.
And it's incredible how easy it is to just take a little bit of time at the beginning of the movie to really establish your characters, understand where they're coming from, what they're about, what their actual motivations are, and all of a sudden, it's like it comes out of thin air, almost like it's magic. The tension and drama just unfolds out naturally, because you can put yourself in their shoes and go, oh, fuck, I would want to get out of that too. Oh, shit, there's $2 million here that technically nobody really owns. It's just sitting right there in a box. It's like, you know, it all just unfolds like so naturally. And that tension throughout is, you know, you mentioned that it's just a perfect push and pull. The whole movie is like, especially the latter half of the movie, that, oh my God, we're almost there. Oh, fuck. Oh my God. It's like literally down to the last minute. It's this very back and forth, like tug of war that's just, it works so well to just lock you in on the movie. I could not stop watching. I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah. We'll sell you a ticket to a seat, but you'll only need the front.
I love just how on the nose it is that Caesar is a money launderer for the mob, and they literally have him using laundry detergent on blood money. That's not what money laundering is, but they just literally have him do money laundry.
That is so funny, actually.
It's a great little like tongue-in-cheek joke. It's like, oh, did you get the money clean? As in, literally, did you clean the blood off?
What's his face who plays Johnny? Because he plays such a rat bastard.
That
so
was
well.
Christopher Maloney, Johnny, I think.
Yeah,
he's been in a bunch of stuff. I love how just dumb all of the mafia guys are. Like when Gino comes in and he's just like, okay, look, I know Caesar and Johnny don't like each other, so let me come in and mediate. And his mediation is just, hey, Johnny, stop being an asshole. Hey, Caesar, respect to this guy. Okay, great, we've solved it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like telling children to stop fighting. Like, really, how effective is this going to be? It's like, reminds me of House of the Dragon season 1. House of the Dragon season 1 has a scene where basically the guy's like, you all need to stop fighting and get along now. And it's like, yeah, dude, you did such a good job of putting everything back to, yeah, you did it.
Even with all that, it is cool how another part of the like push and pull of the tension of this movie is that they do make the mafia characters feel scary at various points. Like there's the one shot where Gino and his guys are coming in the hall, and that shot is so swag.
Shadows
when they're
down
like just, yeah.
I can just hear some sick bass from the Matrix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For that like walking down the hallway scene.
There's so many good hallway scenes in this, like just especially with the use of lighting. Like you see the cops go through like multiple spotlights, so you see them passing in and out of shadow as they're walking down. You've got that like close-up shot of the cops' shoes as they're walking toward to emphasize, oh shit, they're coming, here it comes. I feel like that shot, especially the close-up of just the shoes going, I feel like that gets reused in the Matrix somehow.
They do a good job. One of the things that I think is also notable about this film is that they do a really good job of selling you the timing of everything. And I think that is another thing that a lot of movies suffer from, is this respect to like the space and the time. You get a feeling for how long is it going to take for someone to come up the elevator. You get the ding and the call on the thing. There's a pacing that allows you to sort of orient yourself in this world, and therefore, again, just kind of like lets that tension unfold very naturally, because your brain understands, oh, that's the ding of the elevator, oh, that's the echo of footsteps in the hall. It's multi-sensory and that's what movies are all about. God damn it.
It adds weight to each moment. Like it adds like weight and significance, so that you're really dialed in that way. Mm-hmm.
Also, the tension is like, it makes the movie actually feel shorter, because this movie is an hour and 45 minutes. It feels like it goes by like, just like, wow, that was a wild ride. I can't believe it was actually that long. I thought that was quicker, because it's just, I mean, it's limited sets. You're just in this apartment building and Corky's apartment in the street in front of it, and that's it. Well, I guess the bar scene, but it's very limited sets, so you just have the interplay between the characters, you have the constant tension, and it's all mostly taking place over a single evening while they're trying to get away with it. It's really good.
They do use the sets like very economically.
I really love Corky's lock-picking earrings. That was such a great little touch.
I want lock-picking earrings too.
Yeah.
Not legal in the United States.
The earrings aren't?
Really?
Certain types of lockpicks are literally illegal in the United States.
Oh, that's weird.
It depends on where you are, but yeah.
It's like if it's not illegal for you to carry a lockpicking kit in your back pocket, but it is illegal for you to wear lockpicking earrings, I think that I would throw a fit.
Yeah, that would seem dumb.
Where are the earrings? They saw the movie and they were like, this has to be illegal specifically.
Yeah, they're like, we can't allow this. The lesbians have to be checked.
They will destroy us. They'll destroy our harebrained schemes. There's a good payoff too with Caesar's, the way his whole character moves throughout the movie, where it's like, it's not just that you see this fucking asshole, this explosive, abusive, cowardly asshole get his comeuppance. He gets completely undone. He gets completely unraveled, like on all levels. And then finally at the end, you get the satisfaction of seeing him finally eat dirt.
Yeah.
It's like a very satisfying way of like piece by piece, his little like crappy empire of sand is falling apart. And it's great to see. And he really sells the desperation at every single step.
I love the way that Violet uses sexism to her advantage, because she's like, ooh, I'm a little girl. And there's that like Mickey, I think it is, who's like a little bit protective over her, and he's like, oh, you should go take a walk and whatever, because she's clearly distressed at hearing them torturing a guy. Potentially, like he could have died from those injuries. He did get shot later, but like they could have just been killing a dude. And so like her sticking with that, and like obviously Caesar killed a bunch of people who would have been witnesses or who would have contradicted her, and then they killed Caesar. So for her to portray herself as like, oh, Caesar, he's never been too good to me and not like all this, and for Mickey to be like, we took care of it. We don't like to get the cops involved. And so they just get away with this, which is amazing. But it's because of that like sort of benevolent sexism, fatherly relationship that she has with
He's
the guy.
an old school gangster, He represents the old school guy.
These women are too soft for all this.
Can't let him see the finger cutting. I also do like that the little trimmers, they keep coming back.
Yeah.
And they end up being his undoing, like in a very interesting way.
Also, why did he go for the thumb first?
Why would you do that?
Oh yeah,
Come
that's
on, man.
crazy.
You save that for later.
Yeah.
You start with the pinky. You gotta build up to it.
Jeez Louise.
Well, he just lacks. I mean, I
Restraint?
think, he lacks restraint. He's a very pathetic individual. He likes to think he's a big shot gangster, but really what he has is that he freaks the fuck out and he's able to explode violently, and that's about it. That's all he has throughout the entire movie. He doesn't have any powers of deduction. He doesn't have any particular skill that we see at any point. We just see that what he can do is freak the fuck out and be unpredictable by being totally unstable. Him and Johnny are the same frickin' guy. And yeah, it's just like they're mirror images. And but it works very well for this, dealing with like for the movie to have such a volatile character as like the main villain.
I think this was also like Joe Pantoliano had been doing work, but I think this was like his first like lead role in a movie too.
he fucking brought it.
Yeah, the movie definitely he was definitely a vital part of it. Obviously, he's not the lesbian couple, but you got to have an obstacle for the lesbian couple to overcome, and he played that fucking perfectly.
Yeah.
No, I like a good villain performance. Those are always good. You want your villains to be fun. You want to have a good time with it, and that being fun doesn't mean, oh wow, that was such a relatable villain. Like nobody should want to relate to Caesar or see him in any kind of an aspirational light, But you could still enjoy him
But you
while
can
he's on screen.
understand, like you can step into his footsteps and into his shoes and kind of be like, oh shit, like you would be freaking the fuck out. Like if you were just like, I've been rat fucked and this guy's gonna blow my head off and there's nothing I can do about it except for like keep people guessing and hope that I pull my gun first. Like you can understand where he's coming from, even if you're like, man, this guy's a stupid piece of shit.
I mean, he's like smart enough to bring an element of unpredictability to the plot. Because like I said, like he exactly fingers Violet. You could have dropped that on purpose. He exactly figures out what she did.
You could have let Johnny in when you left the door, which is what she did, except it wasn't Johnny.
It was Corky, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it just was enough to keep you like...
Yeah, he lacks like the deductive ability, but his paranoia almost makes up for it.
Yeah, he gets things right by accident.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so there's one critique I must levy at this movie, and I don't know how. It feels like it's the biggest nitpick ever, because I'm just like, I don't even know how I would propose that you resolve this, but there is an incredibly long stretch of the movie where we essentially do not see Corky at all, and that is a little odd in a movie that's about a duo, about a couple. Now, to be fair, the first half of the movie is mostly Corky as we're getting to know her and like see her come into contact with Vi. But then there's the whole heist sequence and all the mob stuff, and it's just one long interrupted segment where I think there's like one or two cutaway shots to like Corky hearing something scary through the wall. And it's a little bit of I was just like, oh, that's a little bit of a bummer. Like maybe, I don't know how you could have done it, but maybe there was a way to like have something happen that's like, oh, I don't know, some other unpredictable, unexpected gang member starts to come in on the house, or there's a lookout outside that you got to take care of, and it gives her just a little bit of time to interact directly with the heist.
Maybe, okay, so there was that bit where they have the shootout and where he kills all the mafia guys, and there was like one shot from one of the other guys. What if that had gone through the wall between their the two apartments, and like Corky could like look in or something like that? I don't know. Maybe something for her to do.
Something for her to do, because the thing is that right after that she gets tied up, and then it's more of Vi and Caesar, which is just kind of like, yeah, it kind of sucks that there's such a huge portion of the movie where Corky is essentially, as far as the cinema is concerned, incapacitated from the film. Yeah. And that's my only real critique of this movie. Like, I don't think I have any other critiques of this movie. Oh, actually, I have one other. The cops get called by the neighbors hearing gunshots, and then they're just like, yeah, okay, all things good, and they go away, and then the neighbors are just like, okay, I I guess everything's okay when the loudest portion of the movie occurs and there's people running around and screaming and throwing items and ripping things off the wall and shooting
And then
at each
she
other and having
unloads the gun on him, so like there's more
she's
gunshots,
like, boom,
and
boom,
it's
boom, 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 and they're just like, the neighbor's like, well, it's okay, we can sleep now. We know it's just a TV show or something.
I feel like they would definitely have cops on the mafia payroll.
yeah.
But I was going to say, I don't know if this is something I've seen very much in movies, but I have liked it in other things. The kind of bait and switch of who really is the protagonist of this film. Because like they do that in Game of Thrones where you start out, spoilers, but you start out with like Sean Bean's character and you're like, he's the main character. And then he gets beheaded. And then his son feels like the main character, but then he gets killed. And so like I kind of enjoy that a little bit. So it's like it starts the movie with us on Corky. And because Corky is interested in Vi, that's our lead in to care about Vi. And then the rest of the movie is almost kind of handed off and like, this is Vi trying to get out of this situation. And Corky is just like, I kind of can't help you. Like, you have to figure this out. You have to stick to the plan. And if you can't stick to the plan, like you have to be able to improvise. And that's exactly what she does. So yeah, I'm interested to see if there are other films that take that same kind of tactic. Because if it is unconventional or uncommon, then I could see it being like weird.
The first season of Lost, they really wanted to like drill in the idea that nobody's safe, anybody can die at any point. And actually the original script for the pilot, Jack was supposed to die in the first episode. He's the main character of the episode. But I think somebody read that and said, no, like if you kill this guy, like you're gonna lose the audience. Because like they're following him and then they're like, oh, okay, well that was the guy that I was relating to because he was the main character and now I don't know what's going on. So they stepped back from that a bit, and then like they still, Lost was not shy about killing off characters, but they did it a little more deliberately where it wasn't like you were generally gonna just see somebody die randomly. It's a tricky balance, right? Because if you are just killing people off to be like, oh wow, you didn't see that coming, well it's like, okay, well people are invested in certain characters, and if you just kill them off to be like, ooh, keeping you on your toes, people are gonna tune out.
Sure. And I guess you don't have to kill the person. Like that doesn't have to be the mechanism. That's just like, something that I like very much and has that like trading off of who the main character is, or like feeling like there's going to be a trade off of who the main character is, but then that person dies or is removed from the story in some other way. So I'm just saying like I can see how other elements of media have introduced that like switch of who is the real focus of the story, and that like maybe this movie sets you up to think that Corky is supposed to be our main person to care about, but actually the person, because like Corky is not struggling. She's fine. Like she's getting by. She's got work, she's chilling. She's getting laid or whatever. Vi is like, she has something to overcome. She is oppressed. She's kind of a sex slave, and like she is trying to get out of that. So like her conflict is actually the main conflict. Like Corky is just there to facilitate it. Or to facilitate her escape, I guess.
I don't entirely disagree. I do think that I think Corky is very alone and also hurt, clearly. It just feels a little bit underdeveloped in that like we see a piece of like, oh, well, I had a partner once and, I was betrayed. You see her hurt, but we don't really see a whole full resolution to that or a full development of it. I think it would have been nice. I think it would have been nice to have a little more involvement. And also I think it would kind of sell the ending even a little stronger. But, again, I'm nitpicking at this point. I'm trying to find flaws with it.
Sure.
A perfect golden egg.
My friend said the one thing that's wrong with this movie is that it made everybody think that Tilly and Gina were lesbians, but they're actually just allies.
Yeah, no, they're straight. Actually, apparently we talked about Susie Bright being an intimacy coordinator, but like, this was early days and it was not done as like, it wasn't a closed set when they filmed the sex scenes, in part because they were doing that big, it was like, it was done in a oneer and they had the camera moving all over the place. So they had like a bunch of crew to move walls out of the way and everything. And Gershon and Tilly were actually like so nervous before shooting that they shot the scene drunk. They both did tequila before they shot it. So
okay.
It's maybe not the best one, but it is an early example of a movie that did, in fact, have an intimacy coordinator. And I think we've learned a lot since then.
Wild times. Strange and wild times.
Just ahead of their time in so many ways.
Yeah, I'm like sitting here going, damn.
No, it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I was just thinking like, damn, must have been so scary to have people think you might be a lesbian.
Yeah. Oh no,
in the 90s.
So scary.
There's this one shot where Caesar gets the plane ticket out of the pocket of one of the guys that he shot, and like he opens the fold, and then like he just holds it in front of his face, and the bullet hole that went through the thing, because it's on a fold, there's 2 holes, and they line up perfectly with his eyes. He's just looking straight through it at the camera, and it's all bloody and everything. And like, we used to make real movies. Like, that's a shot. That is a shot that took so much planning to get right. You have to make sure that the prop is set up right, everything. Like he has to, like, he's holding that. He has to nail it in camera and then deliver a line and look like he wasn't trying to set up a shot right. He has to just do it in camera. And like, it takes coordination.
We used to make movies.
We used to be a real country.
We used to have a real film industry. We didn't just have entertaino slop. This was entertainment. Can you just, the levels that this touches your brain on? And this isn't even the beginning. There's so many movies that we have yet to watch that go 100 times further.
Also, I gotta say, like, Lily Wachowski's been doing a lot of film production. She just recently produced the film Again by Mia Moore, and
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
she's been working on getting a lot of like indie queer filmmakers funding for their movies, and we're seeing a lot of resurgence in queer and like explicitly trans art in cinema in the indie circuit. And like, yeah, you're not gonna see it from the Disneys and the Sonys. We're gonna have to make that shit ourselves.
I'm really excited for the rest of this. You know, there's a lot of movies on this watch list I haven't yet seen.
Yeah, I think obviously I saw Matrix 4, but aside from that, I think the only other one that I had seen outside the Matrix movies is V for Vendetta, which technically the Wachowskis didn't direct, but like they were second unit directors, and the director was their second unit director on the Matrix movies, so it's all still in-house, and they wrote it, so it's close enough. It's a Wachowski movie.
I can't wait for that one. I have seen that one. I have not seen Cloud Atlas. I have a funny story with Cloud Atlas. I think one of the largest like late fees I've ever received on a movie rental was from a copy of Cloud Atlas. I picked it up from a Redbox, and I put it on my table, and I set down a paper from the mail on top of it and forgot that it was there. And it just sat there accruing Redbox late fees until I finally returned it. I don't even know. I think it was like 3 weeks, which adds up on Redbox. It was, and I never watched it. I just totally forgot it was there. I had bought it. I don't even remember. I was like, oh, this looks interesting. Let's check it out. I've heard things about this movie. So I'm excited to see that. But I've seen all the Matrix, and I've seen V for Vendetta, but I have not seen Jupiter Ascending or Cloud Atlas, and I had not seen this one.
There's also Speed Racer. I haven't seen that either.
Oh, and Speed Racer. I have not seen Speed Racer. Nope, I haven't.
That one should be interesting because like that one is just like literally, the Wachowskis have such, especially you see in the Matrix, just the anime influence in their art. And then Speed Racer is literally like, okay, let's just make a live action anime. That should be fun to see. There's like a couple of video essays that I've seen pop up about Speed Racer. I'm like, I want to watch that, but I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna bookmark that thing and go back to watch it after we do the podcast, because I want to go in. I don't want you to tell me what I'm supposed to look for. I want to enjoy it.
For sure.
Maybe we should watch. Should we add the Animatrix?
I was thinking about that. I'd be down with adding the Animatrix.
I have not seen that, but I know I have heard lots about it, so I would like to watch it.
Neither of you have seen the Animatrix? Oh my God. The second Renaissance.
I know.
Is amazing. Okay, we're doing that.
Okay, cool. So we'll add that. That's a great one to add to the watch list. I already have the movie. I just haven't seen it. So
it's an anthology. There's several stories in it by a bunch of different directors. But yeah, it's great. I feel like we're pretty much wrapped up here. I know it's a little shorter than usual, but I feel like we touched on every aspect of the movie. So I feel like we're good. Next up is The Matrix, and I would be surprised if we didn't run long on that one.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because what can't you say about The Matrix? So, but I look forward to that. Until then, I've been Gayfish.
I've been Moss.
And I have been DemonMama.
And we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks to my patron, EVV. If you want to catch these episodes early and hear your name at the end of the episode, subscribe at patreon.com/gayfish.